there was an AIDS epidemic here in San Francisco. And people in the AIDS and HIV community soon discovered that marijuana was very helpful with their appetite loss and pain issues in dealing with AIDS. And we had, fortunately, a very active AIDS community here in San Francisco that was politicized around this. And we happen to have a very powerful ally in Dennis Peron, a longtime marijuana and gay rights activist in the city who really took an interest in this when his house was raided by the San Francisco Narcotics Department, and 3 ounces of pot were found in there. And well, Dennis had a long-standing dear friend and lover, Jonathan West, who had AIDS at the time. And it occurred to Dennis, why are they taking this pot from this house when Jonathan West needs it for his AIDS? And from that was born the notion of having a San Francisco medical marijuana initiative. So unfortunately, we do not have Dennis with us any longer, but we do have a recorded interview of Dennis where he tells the story of how this started. So if we can hear that, please.
I'd like to introduce Dennis Peron to the television audience. Dennis Peron, about the size of Napoleon, is responsible for the Compassionate Use Initiative. He is the man who has brought to San Francisco medical marijuana, runs the Cannabis Buyers Club. This man today, this gray-haired man, Vietnam vet, right?
Yes.
Is making history. Tell us about this Compassionate Use Initiative, Dennis.
Well, I'd say this all came about because of the AIDS epidemic, what is happening here, not only in San Francisco, but around the nation, and the cancer epidemic, where so many people are suffering, all the drugs they're taking aren't working. Marijuana has been shown to be an effective drug for thousands and thousands of years, and in a way, we're kind of rediscovering marijuana in light of current and modern day dilemmas, medical dilemmas. If you have HIV or cancer, you feel very nauseous very often. Your appetite is diminished, and you feel just awful. Marijuana is one drug that stimulates the appetite, eases nausea, and the side effect is that you feel a little better. And I found that out when my lover, Jonathan West, got AIDS. Jonathan, like all AIDS patients, was prescribed a myriad of drugs. And all those drugs had severe side effects, from nausea to sleeplessness to irritability to loss of appetite. Marijuana was the one drug that helped him not only increase his appetite, ease his nausea, but it was one of the drugs that made him feel a little better. And if you've ever lost a loved one to AIDS or cancer, you would know just to see them feel a little better, even if it's just for an hour, there's nothing you would do. Nothing you wouldn't do to do that for them. When Jonathan died, I dedicated my life to all the suffering Jonathans of this world, to legalize marijuana as a medicine, because I know that this is being denied people for purely political reasons. That this is a drug, like many other drugs, that have good effects and bad effects. I believe the good effects outweigh the bad effects. This is one drug being denied people for purely political reasons, purely to demonize further and continue further this idiotic drug war. Well, I know that marijuana will be legal someday, but my friends who have AIDS and cancer do not have time to wait till America wakes up and legalizes marijuana. So that is where the compassionate use came about, that we were going to start a club for AIDS patients and cancer patients in the memory of Jonathan West, who died of AIDS. In his memory, we would supply marijuana to people with multiple sclerosis, cancer, and AIDS. And then I find out that marijuana helps for arthritis and rheumatism, which has allowed a lot of senior citizens to join the club. And now the club is taking its message statewide toward the form of an initiative. We're going to collect 500,000 signatures, commencing in November '95 and continuing for 150 days to collect 500,000 signatures to qualify an initiative for the ballot that will legalize marijuana as medicine cultivation upon a doctor's recommendation. That's it in a nutshell.
Dennis, you mentioned in your process that marijuana has good effects and bad effects. What are the bad effects?
Well, the bad effects are short-term memory loss, which, it's very serious, and it can be serious. Short-term memory, you forget what you're doing. A cotton mouth. If you don't drink water, you could get dehydrated. And certain people experience panic attacks. And so those things we know happen. But we understand that. But in fact, the side effects of AZT is in fact death. If you take AZT long enough, you will die. Now that's a pretty severe side effect if you ask me. And in fact, many of the drugs that cancer patients take are designed to kill you in a very slow manner. And these drugs, chemotherapy, are designed to kill almost kill every white cell in your body and hopefully kill the cancer. But many times they kill the patient, in addition to killing the cancer. Marijuana has never killed anybody. Marijuana is one drug that can be used with other drugs safely. That we've had many cancer patients on the cancer ward being infused with chemotherapy, take 1 or 2 puffs, and their stomach nausea is subsided. They feel a little better. And so we're not talking about massive amounts of marijuana. In many cases, we're talking about 5 or 6 puffs. Now, the government is using these people as pawns, and we don't like it, and that's why we're doing it.
Thank you very much, Dennis.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the success in the world.
It will win. It will win.
Win, yes. And so we did.